All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome back. This is Tyler from the Unleashing DePIN podcast. I'm excited for a new content segment that I've been wanting to do for a while. I haven't quite had the time to do it, but I figured it is more than past time because I know I'm always trying to keep up on DePIN data and everything happening in the space, and there is a lot happening. So this is This Week in DePIN, where we're going through a lot of the news and some of the exciting updates that happened in the space. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we do that, I want to give a big thank you and sort of a shout out to DePhy. Cameron over there is doing an awesome job really curating a lot of the news and things happening in the space. So please go give them a follow because some of the information I have here is from them. But with that being said, we'll get into the rest of the news. So probably the biggest thing this week was Helium unveiled their new plan tier structure. They've got 3 plans now, one of them which is free. So they now have their Zero plan, Air plan, and Infinity plan. Basically with their Zero plan, they've got, as the name sounds, it is a completely free plan. You get 3 gigs of data. You get limited voice and messaging. They also have a $10 a month plan that's got a higher gigabit rate. And then their Infinity plan, which is $30 now. So it's an up from the 20. But again, they've got these new offers now. The other thing that's pretty cool about this is they've introduced these cloud points, which are redeemable at your favorite retailers. So on the free plan, you don't participate in mapping anymore, but they're still compensating you for your data, which is pretty darn cool. Definitely looks like they are getting some traction with this new plans. No surprise. You can see a big uptick in terms of the number of subscribers that have joined in recent days as they've announced and sort of released this free plan. It'll be interesting to see how this continues to scale moving forward. One thing to note is that they are currently offering kind of a invite-only plan. There's a lot of codes that are available for folks, but hopefully as this transitions into being available for everybody, this number will increase even more quickly. So again, I'm pretty excited to see how that scales over time. The next thing that we want to talk about was peaq launched their Get Real campaign. This is pretty amazing. They've got $100 million in rewards for different projects, different folks in the space, creating real world value by building apps on peaq. So that's a lot of money up for grabs. If you're a builder, definitely something to look out for. And the peaq team is really great. You definitely won't go wrong by taking a look at this. The other thing is that a project called Beamable, who we've actually had on the podcast, they're building sort of decentralized game server infrastructure. They announced their $13.5 million Series A round, which is really exciting. They've got an existing Web2 business. They're sort of bringing the DePIN component into it. John's definitely a rock star in the space. He's built some incredible AAA game titles. Definitely worth checking out. Again, we've had him on the pod, and so that's pretty exciting. So congratulations to the team on that. The next thing this week was DIMO announced that they've got 2,000 of their LTE R1s connected to the network. So DIMO, again, compensates you for your vehicle telemetry data. Definitely worth checking out. We've had them on the pod as well. I've got one of the non-LTE versions in my car. So it's pretty amazing because otherwise I am not earning for driving my vehicle. So congratulations to the team for hitting 2,000 units connected to the network specifically for their LTE device. The next news that we want to know is Hivello has their token that's been listed on a couple exchanges, Gate.io being one of the more notable ones. So if you're not familiar with Hivello, they are a all-in-one DePIN manager, really makes getting into DePIN quite easy. Think of it like Spotify, but you just get to click and choose which DePIN projects you want to get involved with. They do all of the sort of the upfront work for you, and you just run it on your computer. It's super incredible. So that's a pretty amazing update. I know there's some additional updates we'll talk about a little bit, as well as them being on the podcast this coming week. So the other thing that I wanted to share was our friend over at DePIN Connection, got an incredible YouTube channel dedicated to getting into DePIN. He did a really phenomenal deep dive on Dabba. So Dabba is kind of like Helium with Wi-Fi, specifically in India. I have bought and purchased a handful of nodes myself. Definitely worth checking out if you're interested in Dabba. They're doing some incredible things. This is a really phenomenal deep dive. It's pretty short and sweet, so it helps get to the meat and potatoes of all the information as quickly as possible. So definitely worth checking out. And then sort of the last thing in terms of news was there was an introductory spaces for Code, which is the Council of Decentralized Economies. And so this is an initiative with some various DePIN thought leaders really trying to sort of standardize how we evaluate different DePIN projects. I'm contributing to this with some of the research work that we've been doing through the podcast, which has been really fun. So that space was hosted by Ken, who is at Toshi. So if you want to go check out his profile, you'll be able to go and listen into the space, some of the things we were chatting about, which was really kind of amazing. So a couple of things for the week ahead to look out for. Again, we're going to start doing this every week. We're going to recap what's been going on. But a couple of things we know, I would definitely go check out Hivello. I think that there's going to be some additional announcements with respect to their airdrop and some things with their TGE. Also, not next week, but sort of at the end of February, we have ETH Denver, which is going to be massive. There's going to be a ton of DePIN events happening, side events, things that were definitely worth checking out. So my recommendation is go check out Who Loves Burrito. He's got a list on his website for all of the great events happening in Denver. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing a lot of podcast stuff. We actually got a panel during ETH Denver that we'll be doing live, as well as some video recordings at a handful of the other events. So certainly go check that out. So quick plug for what's coming up this week with respect to Unleashing DePIN podcasts. We've got an episode with Nebula that's going to be dropping tomorrow. And then we've got an episode with Hivello, which is going to be dropping on the 12th. So definitely go follow those projects. Keep your notifications on for the announcements. So in any event, that's everything that happened. If we miss stuff, please let us know. Again, we want to do this every week. It's something that I've been looking for personally because, again, DePIN moves super, super quickly. So if we miss something, please drop it in the comments. We want to make sure that we can get that information out for people. And as we do this every week, if there's something notable that you see that you're like, oh, this definitely needs to be covered, feel free to shoot it to us. We always appreciate sort of that that delegated aggregation or sort of that community effort and support there. So we'll wrap it up here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Go check out all of these projects. Be sure to follow us. We're going to do this every week. And so we'll be dropping this next Sunday. Hopefully, I assume there will be a lot of things happening. But with all that being said, we'll see everyone on the next one. Take care.